Ace Podcast.
You're listening to Super Co-op Squad, episode 41. Hello and welcome, gamers, to another episode 41 of the Super Co-op Squad video game podcast. I am your host, Johnny Mack, and I'm joined today, as always, with my fellow host, Garrett Laney.
Hello.
And Joshua Gerard.
Where is Waldo?
This is audio. This doesn't play well for looking for things.
Never a fan of those Where's Waldo books, to be honest.
Really?
Really wasn't.
You're not good at those type
What about
of,
I Spy?
They were kind of easy most of the time. And no, I Spy neither. You know what I loved but hated was those...
the 3D...
Yes, the 3D pictures where you have to like squint your eyes in a weird way to see the picture pop out.
I'm not aware of these.
What?
You never...
Oh,
you must be. You must be. You don't know what we're talking about. So
where
it's like
did
a
your
picture
childhood go?
where it's like weird like colors, and then if you look really hard at it, then you're going to end up seeing a picture within the picture pop like a puppy or something, or a cat or a tree.
Elephant.
You must have seen these.
I just like word searches.
Me and my sister and I were big fans of word searches.
Yeah.
Getting
Several
slightly
battles.
off topic.
Yeah, but you know those are
Reel it
games.
back.
Game or pop
Those
culture
are-
intros.
Those are games too.
These were games that we played growing up.
All right, guys. Well, we are the Super Co-op Squad, and every week we sit down to talk about the latest and greatest in games, movies, comics, anything pop culture related, and just have some fun talking about those things, other things, and just have a generally good time. So hopefully you have a good time with us. Before we get into our content today, this is going to be your spoiler warning, ladies and gentlemen. Probably more just gentlemen, but ladies as well if you're here.
Wow.
just being real. So, if you don't want to know about anything, check our show notes. There'll be a link for those in the details and description of this episode that you're listening to, wherever you're listening to it. You can go ahead and click that, and you'll be able to go ahead and go to our website and look and see what we're talking about. And if you don't want to know what we're talking about and discuss it, you can go ahead and pause, skip those things, and kind of check the timestamps and not get spoiled. That's what a spoiler is. You don't want to get the spoiler spoiled. Right?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So other than that, guys, we are moving on. So today we're talking a little bit about Sony Pictures. They have acquired Funimation, or majority share of the anime distributor. We'll talk about that and how it might influence and change what we get from Funimation, what Sony brings to us, and how important that is to anime. We'll also talk about the SNES Classic and the pre-orders that are going to be popping up, and does it really matter anymore? Will there be any differences in what we've seen from the Switch or from the NES Classic and the ramifications of Walmart having some early issues? And at the end of the episode, we'll be having an opinion piece about backlash from fans and media when a game is getting previewed or demoed before it's released, and how that might impact development or the creation of the game going forward. To start, though, we'll go ahead and touch the SNES Classic issue. So Nintendo reveals the SNES Classic will be available for pre-order at certain retailers later this month. But we've seen in the last 2 or 3 years now, Nintendo has some definite issues as it comes to pre-orders and the ramifications of how many are available, and then what that does for the third-party market as far as resales. So will we have any differences in what Nintendo's doing this time around?
If we're comparing NES Classic to SNES Classic, the difference is this is pre-orderable. To what extent, there's really no telling, but I believe there will be more available. When I say more available, meaning there's going to be more units, not availability, meaning everyone's going to get one, because I don't think that's going to be the case. And the thing about pre-orders is retailers they'll get it, like GameStop will get a certain allocation. Walmart, Target, they're going to get a certain allocation, and they decide how to distribute that. Nintendo doesn't decide how to distribute that. So I'm curious to see if it's going to be fair, if it's going to be online only. Are you going to be able to pre-order in a store, in a GameStop? I don't know.
From what I'm getting here, it sounds like they want to do quote unquote better. They want to make more available. They want to make it so it's easier to get and easier to obtain. And hopefully the second and third party sellers can't sell it for as high. Will they, or will it be enough? That's a different question.
Yeah, I don't really believe the question is will they or won't they have enough. They will not have enough to meet demand. No. For one Nintendo product, especially their consoles, when they hit hard and do well, they hit hard and do well. So even if they did try, it would probably be very difficult for them to have enough. But also, as we've discussed before, Nintendo they purposefully control the market and the supply and demand of what's out there to create a kind of a false sense of, low supply to create a high demand. So they're going to do that anyway.
And it works every time.
It does really work every time for them. I don't know if it really makes their sales higher, but it makes sure that whatever they do make, it does sell. You know what I mean? Like if they want to sell 1 million, if their target's 1 million, they'll make sure they hit 1 million. And maybe, let's say, for instance, if they had made 3 million and just pushed those out there, they probably still would have only got to 1 million anyway. There would just be more on the shelf.
That's what you would think, but they'd never go out and take that chance. I don't think they've done that with any.
It happens. I mean, if we look at the Wii U, that definitely happened. They had target goals and they tried to control the supply and demand. And in the beginning of the Wii U's life cycle, it was difficult to get one in that first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but then it was not very popular. So then it was just easy to find. But they still have the same implementation of strategy. It just didn't work that time.
Yeah. Were there 32 gig models available consistently in the first few months? I thought it was just 8 gig.
The 8 gig and the 32 sold out initially. Everyone had them. Then they were posted by resellers. People were not interested in the same way they were in the Wii, and they got quickly returned to many retailers en masse. So they tried the same strategy. It didn't work. But you're right. It does work most of the time. And then to touch on your point, Gary, it's the distributors, GameStop, Walmart, Target, Amazon, who decide, for the most part, how pre-orders work, and not necessarily Nintendo, although I'm sure when they're making those contracts on what they get, that is part of the discussion on how they distribute it. But there's no other way for, at this point in the gaming industry, for these distributors to, I mean, for lack of a better word, distribute, sorry, to distribute this product. I mean, what other way can they do it where it's fair for the most part to everybody? If you just make it where it's line up day one, they're going to have all kind of stampedes and issues.
I mean, treat it like Black Friday. They do it every year.
I don't know. That seems like a big difference. That's a lot more work for them.
I mean, I don't recall any stampedes at GameStop when they open up at 5 a.m. and they have their Black Friday deals. Do the same thing with these Nintendo products, and one per family.
But I think the difference there is on Black Friday, there's competition everywhere, not just retails for gaming. In addition, they have very specific promotions that are tailored to them, while other retailers have promotions. Like, they don't sell TVs. Everybody lines up a week in advance at Best Buy because they want the best deal on a TV.
Getting raped by your interest rates.
Yeah, that too. So they are stealing all the people that are going to show up at potentially 5 a.m.
I'm saying just treat it like Black Friday.
See,
just
the
open
difference?
up early, make a line. Here's what we got.
But that's not going to change anything because people, since Amiibos, have already been lining up since 5, 6 a.m. So
the difference here is that on Black Friday, there's no new content coming out. It's already everything that's been out for a bit. Just you're getting deals. It would be very different for you to release a console on Black Friday and say line up at 5 a.m. Good luck. That'd be a lot harder to deal with than, hey, this game or console's been out for a month or two. You've had an opportunity. There has been enough out there where the demand is going to be down at least a bit so we can control it. It'd be mayhem to release a console on Black Friday.
Yeah. I was going to say Nintendo's the exception because they usually have a somewhat limited edition 3DS or 2DS come out on Black Friday for years now.
Yeah. I mean, is this just going to be the way that it continues to go? Pre-orders are only going to matter. I mean, at this point, pre-orders only matter for consoles, right? Like hardware. Or maybe limited editions, maybe collector's editions,
Oh yeah, they do.
Not as much anymore. Like if you really want a collector's edition from GameStop, unless it's something from Nintendo, other than Nintendo, you're going to be able to get it. Like if you want it, you can get it.
Most of the times now, unless it's, as you point out, like a very specific, Samus Returns, which the special edition comes with the regular game for $50, but it's limited supply because Nintendo is not going to distribute 1 million of those special editions.
Non-Nintendo, because we already know Nintendo, no matter what they release, if it's a collector's or rare or new, they're going to control the market. But any other company, they're going to make as much as they can and just push them out. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that pre-orders only matter for Nintendo and consoles, and that's it. And other than that, it's going downhill.
Yeah, it's almost a promised guarantee that is a sold product. Of course, you never know until it's picked up or not. But for an item like the SNES Classic, it's practically a guarantee, scalpers or not, that this is going to sell out. And
initially, at least.
I don't think the pre-orders will last for, whenever they announce the date, people are going to line up and call that entire day, and each store, regardless of retailer, online or offline, is going to have a certain amount, and that's going to be gone within a matter of an hour or so.
Yeah.
So it's not going to matter. If you're just going to get it, you're going to get it. If you're not, you're going to not.
Right. And earlier, Garrett, you had made a point talking about the fact that you want them to do something more like, line up or Black Friday type. And I don't think the Black Friday thing personally would work, but even lining up, let's say the day of release or something like that, and just whoever's there and getting one. Again, I don't think personally that would do well, but that's your strategy. Joshua, do you have a strategy as to a better way to like roll these out? That's fair for everybody.
Yeah, Nintendo needs to make more. Like, as far as a retailer, what's unfair is somebody like GameStop that's going to say, hey, you have to buy this extra stuff. We're going to bundle it, and now you're going to have to spend $150 if you want to get this product.
See, that's how
I got my Switch.
I don't have a problem with that, to be honest.
The problem I have with it is you're forcing consumers to spend more money on stuff they probably don't need for the one thing they do need.
I like it, I don't like it. I don't dislike it because scalpers, bro, like that 100% will begin to stop a scalper from scalping. If you have to buy a bundle where it's normally $100 and now it's $175, and if you want to return it back to GameStop, you have to return all the items or none.
Yeah.
You're stuck. Like, you're not going to want to buy this bundle as a scalper because you don't want the item. You don't want this extra garbage. So I feel it's almost a good practice in a sense.
It's a good practice for that. But honestly, is GameStop doing that for scalper purposes, or are they doing that to drive more revenue?
Absolutely. But I mean, they come hand in hand.
True. But at the same time, it doesn't benefit us as fans or consumers at all.
Well, it doesn't benefit us from the point of spending money, but it does benefit us in the fact that we might actually be able to get one of these damn things. Right? So, I mean, that's a good thing.
To a degree, but now you're going to spend, almost twice as much?
Well, okay. You might spend twice as much, right? But let's say you spend twice as much and you get an extra game, maybe an extra controller, some other random
Mega Man helmet.
Yeah, something that you don't really care about, but you get it, right? You get some value for your money. Maybe you're spending double. Or you go on eBay and you spend double for just a console from a scalper.
Fair point.
Because you couldn't get it in the store anyway. So at least I'm spending double and getting some things versus spending double and getting just the thing.
Yeah, true, but only if you have the money for that. Like, Garrett was not going to spend $450 after the launch of the Switch because he wasn't able to get it at the time it launched.
Yeah, you're right. It definitely prices some people out, but I like the fact that it prices out scalpers. And
I'm not a scalper.
No, I don't know, man. You got that look. You got that look on you. So I don't think it's a bad thing. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. How early should pre-order start? I mean, we're about a month out now, right?
Whenever Nintendo drops the news, everyone will know about it. But something that Walmart did, they accidentally had their pre-orders get set up, and most of those got canceled. But I have a couple Facebook groups that I am in that's part of different gaming that are part of different trading groups where they buy, sell, trade, because that's a whole industry. And there's other ones that are just big gamers, and a lot of them got canceled. Some got updated orders that says that your pre-order has now been updated for X amount of date. And one or two just recently had another one saying that your canceled pre-order has been revised. So I don't know what's going on with Walmart as far as that. But pre-orders, whenever it drops, it drops. It doesn't need to be an early thing, because when you do it early and there's not a guaranteed number, that's when you might get out of luck and then you get canceled. Like, what was it? The Zelda 3DS Majora's Mask.
Shame on you if you're pre-ordering things at Walmart. That just seems like the worst place to buy like anything.
To be fair, get it where you can get it.
Right. Yep. But I mean, Walmart's not known for organization or customer service or cleanliness or anything that you'd want to go to a business for. So why would you trust them?
Because they're saying, hey, we got this thing that you want.
And here you are now getting emails that your thing.
That you're not getting the thing that you want.
That it got canceled.
Sometimes you got to take that risk. The only one that was pre-ordering it, quote unquote, at the time, sometimes you got to get in. I got a few texts and they're like, do it. I tried.
Get in where you fit in.
I was too late.
Fit it in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's what we got on the SNES Classic and the pre-order. So let us know what you guys thought. Email us, text us, whatever. Tweet at us.
They got your number.
If you find my number, it's findable online. I'm sure.
I just want mine.
Your SNES Classic.
I want to play Star Fox 2.
Good luck, man, because it might be a little bit of a struggle there. All right, guys, fan favorites. Every week we pick 10 rapid-fire questions, and each host answers to see where we stand opposed and united in fandom. So play along. Find out what are your fan favorites.
All right, guys, I had the choice here. I had the job of fan faves.
I mean, it's not a job, man. It's fun.
I've had the opportunity.
There you go. You have the honor.
The pleasure.
It's not
There
called,
you
It's
are.
not called Fun Phase, Johnny. It's called Fan Phase. It's
not called-
the only piece of homework I didn't have to do this week.
He had job
Oh, yeah,
favorites
that's
this
right.
week. Work
All right.
favorites.
We've all had that argument. Mark Ruffalo was the best Bruce Banner, or George
close.
Clooney was the best Batman.
No one's saying that.
Bat nipples. Come on.
Okay, maybe not that last one.
Okay, yeah.
But the point is, there have been many recasts. Out of these celebrities, who do you prefer? This is Fan Faves Total Recast.
Ooh,
That was
I see what you
well
did there.
done there.
Starting off, Catwoman. Who played it better, Michelle Pfeiffer or Anne Hathaway?
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer. Jean Grey, Famke Jensen or Sophie Turner? Sophie Turner is from Game of Thrones. In case she's the new hot face, so
Yep.
you don't know.
I'll take Fam.
Famke.
Famke. Next is Rhodey, Terrence Howard or Don Cheadle?
I would prefer Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Wonder Woman, Linda Carter or Gal Gadot?
This is rough.
Yeah.
I do like me some Linda Carter, but I really like me some Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Is it Gadot or Gadot? Did we figure that out?
It's Gadot,
Okay.
which is also my choice. Gal Gadot. Next, Professor Xavier, Patrick Stewart or James McAvoy?
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
Damn, Patrick Stewart.
There's no damn. It's
No,
yeah.
I just mean we've agreed on all of them so
yeah.
far. Magneto, Ian McKellen or Michael Fassbender?
Ian.
Ma-
Sorry.
It's not your turn, sir. With Michael Fassbender.
Ian McKellen.
There we go. Some differences. Johnny, you're right though. Ian McKellen. Next up, Superman, Brandon Routh or Henry Cavill?
Cavill? Is it pronounced Cavill?
I don't know.
I
Cavill,
think it's
Cavill. I don't
Cavill.
care. He's not my choice.
Henry is my answer.
Henry Cavill.
I'm gonna go Brandon.
Hmm.
Batman, Michael Keaton or Ben Affleck?
I'm choosing the Fleck on this one.
Okay.
I also am going Affleck.
Michael Keaton, guys. Moving on. Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield?
Well, I'm the one I'm the deciding factor on this one because I know where you stand. I am choosing the orange cat Garfield.
Tobey Maguire.
Not exactly a Spider-Man
No,
character,
it's not.
but
I
okay.
got Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield is my choice. And last but not least, Deadpool,
Ooh.
played by Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Reynolds?
So we got thing 1 or thing 2. So I'm gonna go Ryan Reynolds 2.
I'm going to go Deadpool, but the one from the Wolverine Origins movie.
That
So Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yes.
I pick Ryan Reynolds.
All right. Yay. All right, let's break these down.
All right, first up we have Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer or Anne Hathaway. We unanimously chose Michelle Pfeiffer as the better Catwoman.
By far.
Okay, no, dude. Anne
By
Hathaway
far or Pfeiffer?
by far. Anne Hathaway didn't do a bad job. Honestly, she didn't have much to do in the movie. Her role wasn't great, and that's not her fault.
No, it's not. But as
Nobody told me it was unbreakable.
It's just it's just not her fault, man.
no, I don't know. I like her as an actor, and I do like her in the movie. I mean, the outfit wasn't really Catwoman.
It wasn't
at
Catwoman.
all.
No.
So that's why I get Pfeiffer because that embodied that role for that time.
Fair enough.
I just was not a fan of the Anne Hathaways and how she had cat ears and then
Yeah.
she put them down and there were goggles.
Yeah, a little weird.
And then she's wearing heels on a bike. I know you were trying to be sexy there, but I ride a
not
bike,
doable.
and I'm like, I was not a fan of that. I was like,
You wear heels and you're like, I can't ride a bike.
I can't. I've tried it. I can't wear heels on my bike.
they haven't got size 13 heels. What I've looked.
What did the listeners say?
So they did not agree with us. 60% chose Anne Hathaway. Only 40% chose the Pfeiffer.
It's because that other 60% never seen the original Batman
They
film.
probably
It's a
have.
possibility. But okay, that's where they stand. On the wrong side. Next, Jean Grey, Famke Jensen, or Sophie Turner.
I've always liked Fam. She's a hottie.
She is.
I think that she plays a better Jean Grey. She just has like more of a I don't know, not world weary, but like burdened kind of feel. Like Jean Grey's got so much psychic power that it's a burden, you know?
Yeah, that it's weighing down on her.
Yeah.
Sophie's like, I'm Sansa.
she's not like that, but yeah,
she's only, I mean, in Apocalypse, right? We're talking about this is where she came from, like in that movie.
I think she was in Days of Future.
She was not in Days of Future Past.
Oh, okay.
I don't recall her being in there, and I haven't seen Apocalypse, so I looked it up and I was like, I don't know. We'll see what the future movies hold.
Yeah, and you know what? It's just kind of sad to say, but when I watch from that movie, it's just Sansa. Like I just see her. Oh look, the girl from Game of Thrones is in this movie. I don't see her as another character. So
yeah,
kind of sucks. Her fame in one thing has kind of typecasted her. So but luckily the fans, you guys responded well. 60% said Famke Jensen. 40% said Sophie Turner. So good job, guys.
And you Sansa lovers, you did okay too, but you're just on the wrong side. Next up, Rhodey, Terrence Howard or Don Cheadle?
If you haven't seen Iron Man 1, what are you doing? We're talking about War Machine here.
By far the better Rhodey. The problem was he knew he was the better Rhodey.
He wanted too much money, and he knew it.
All right. In hindsight, I remember when this happened, everyone was like, "Oh, you're greedy, Terrence Howard. Like you don't deserve that much money." But you know what? Those movies made a lot of money, bro. They could have paid him.
Well, the point was, I think he wanted more money than RDJ.
I'm sure that they offer. From what I remember, they didn't offer him even close to what he should have been getting paid. As Terrence Howard, he deserved more money.
I mean, we can say that in hindsight. Back then, I don't think anyone knew Iron Man was going to be as popular as it was. 2, Terrence Howard's Rhodey had a small part in that movie. It wasn't as big as Don Cheadle's carrying on forward.
Right, but clearly they were going to have that character be a large part. Yeah, because they got Don Cheadle.
I think he projected that this franchise as the MCU was going to take off, and he was like, I want to be part of that, but I want more money because I know I'm going to make it.
They should have paid him, I think.
Yeah.
And the movies...
I think it depends. If he was asking for more money than the actual head star...
Right, so everyone reports, yes, like, oh my gosh, he asked for more money than Tony or than RDJ.
No, Tony Stark, you had all
right. But what they don't say is what they were going to give him. So if let's say RDJ was going to make $60 million and he asked for 65, and they only offered him $2 million.
Yeah.
Then where do they actually? You know what I mean? Like they didn't actually try to work with him. If he would have said 65 and they say 2, then they meet in the middle at 30 or 40. Okay, like you made an effort. But if you said a little measly, like here's the opening salary for a grunt, Terrence Howard's no grunt actor.
This is true. Unfortunately, I don't think we have that information.
No, we don't.
No one knows.
But the world may never know.
Terrence Howard knows.
Yeah, he does know. And so the listener poll, 66% chose Terrence Howard, 33% chose Cheadle. Yeah. The Cheeto. Don Cheeto.
I liked him in Civil War.
Tony Stank. All right. Next up, Wonder Woman. Linda Carter or Gal Gadot. I'm sorry, Joshua. You look like you're hurting.
I like Linda Carter. I like her a lot.
Yeah.
I think she did well in the role. I've only seen a few episodes. I'm not a huge fan of that series, but Gadot just took this role and made it her own. And honestly, she took a movie that, although it was fun, with a lesser actor in the role, it'd be a terrible movie. With a lesser actor being Wonder Woman and just having that
just
on
being there,
that on screen presence, it would have failed miserably.
I want to see in Wonder Woman 2. I want to see Gal Gadot spin around and change her costume.
That will not happen. You know what though? I wish they would have had a cameo
of Linda Carter.
Right.
I definitely think they should have.
Yeah,
for sure.
That seems fair.
She should have just been on Themyscira.
I mean, they did that with Lou Ferrigno and the Hulk.
Yeah.
Yes, you know what? I've not seen any of the Hulk movies.
They're not really worth it, but I mean, check them out.
So I would not know, but maybe she'll be in the second one.
Hopefully. So listener poll: 86% chose Gal Gadot, 13.3% chose Linda Carter.
I respect you.
Those diehard fans there.
And I think earlier you made a joke about people not watching. A lot of those probably never have seen the original Wonder Woman TV show. So that might have something to do with it.
That is definitely.
It was maybe 3 seasons, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next up, Professor X. Patrick Stewart, or James McAvoy.
I'm sorry.
McAvoy?
It's McAvoy. I wasn't going to correct you, but yes.
McAvoy?
McAvoy.
It's not, you're killing his name.
Patrick Stewart is awesome.
It's Jamie's McAvoy.
Jamie's Jaime's
Patrick Stewart.
But no, like Patrick Stewart, not only does he just nail every role he's been in, I'm sure he even nailed his role of Pooh in that dreadful, dismal Emoji movie.
He's in the Emoji movie?
Yes, he is.
Wait, he's the poop?
He's the poop.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Patrick Stewart plays the poop.
And honestly, that Emoji movie is probably going to be great.
Have you seen the reviews?
I haven't. Are they bad?
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, Pat, he just looks like it. He acts like it. He just plays the heck out of the
no
character.
better actor they could have picked to put on that actor or that character.
He's got the gravitas.
Mm-hmm.
And McAvoy.
Jamie, we'll see what you got, man, I guess.
Jaime. Sorry, Jaime. And listeners agreed with us. 93% chose Patrick Stewart. 6.7% chose old Jamie. Old Jimmy Jim.
Well, is this Jamie Lannister here, or?
I guess. I mean, he might have been better in the role as Magneto.
Ooh. Speaking of, nice segue. Magneto, Ian McKellen, or Michael Fassbender.
I like Ian. I like him.
But you picked Assassin's Creed.
I did pick him. How do you say it?
Fassbender.
No, I was going to say the Assassin's Creed.
Ass cream?
Never mind.
That's not how you say
Never
it.
mind. No,
Thank
you.
Oh,
See,
that's
he gets me.
I
He
didn't
gets
know
me.
what you were trying to do.
I like Michael's role. I think he's just very, very daring, very
Debonair.
sure. But he has that presence where he looks like he sustains evil in certain aspects of the movie. And I'm just like, that's a guy that's really going to do something.
I think he does a better job being young Magneto than McAvoy does being young Professor X, because I think they do a really good job of showing him like toe the line of like, I'm a good guy, but I have these thoughts where I want to be extreme. They show him kind of going back and forth, and that kind of feels like, okay, I can see this guy being the young Ian McKellen version, because Ian McKellen's like total like extremist, you know?
Yeah.
So I think he does a great job portraying that. It's probably not easy to do. So, yep. 66% chose Ian McKellen, and 33% of you guys chose Fassbend.
Fastbend, huh?
Fastball.
That's what we're doing.
It's the new airbender. You're a fast bender.
A Fassbender. All right. Next up, Superman. Brandon Routh or Henry Cavill?
Cavill. God. It's easy.
Well, I said Cavill, and then
I told you.
and then
I'm
Joshua
right.
was like, "No,
I think
you're
it's
wrong."
Cavill. But no, we're gonna have to fact check all these pronunciations.
We're not. I'm very, very certain.
So I did
You were
not.
very certain about Godot.
No. Okay.
We all
maybe.
had to look that up last time. I did not see Superman Returns. I heard it wasn't the greatest of movies
It was not.
as Superman, but Henry, I will just call him Henry. I think he fits the role. I think he fits the appearance. Sometimes it's just a little bit too dramatic, where he looks all sad and he's in the room and everybody blows up in the courtroom, and he's just like, "Oh man, they blew everybody up." Like,
Yeah. So I agree with you. He himself,
I dropped
think,
my snow cone.
he looks like Superman. He has the chin, like he has the weight of Superman. The only thing is he doesn't have the hope. But I don't know if like the ever present, like, I will fight forever and never lose my humanity. But they make him, like you said, too dark, and that's just not his fault.
I couldn't disagree with you guys more. I feel Henry does not look the part of Superman. I feel he does not capture who I believe the character Superman is. He every time you see him, he's just so sad. Like, dude, you are freaking Superman.
Right.
And I understand that you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. I get that for Superman, but any other actor can do it. Henry, and maybe it's not even Henry's fault.
Yeah, it's not his fault. That's
same
where
thing
he's
we
being
talk about.
directed.
Exactly. Yeah, he's being
same thing we
directed
talk
for
about
that.
Anne Hathaway.
Right,
Fair
exactly.
enough.
Catwoman.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that he got that into the stick. He drew that hand,
Yeah.
and that's
He
I
drew that emoji.
I cannot stand that
That
characterization, that portrayal. Thank you, portrayal of Superman.
Well, I'm sorry to say, Garrett, that
I
the
know.
fans don't agree.
Of course, they don't.
94% chose
Yeah.
Henry Cavill. Only a little, 6% chose Brandon.
Yeah, I know.
He's
I
better
know.
as an ex-boyfriend.
Sorry, sorry, bud.
Not mine.
He's a damn good Adam, though.
All All right, next up.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Next up, Batman. Michael Keaton or Ben Affleck.
I think they've done a lot of good work with how Batman is portrayed with Ben Affleck. Just a very, very more serious, a little bit more tenacious, very detective-y in Batman vs Superman. Even though it wasn't a lot of it, like we get to see that side of him in the new school movies. And I like that a lot.
Yes, I agree with you. I think his portrayal of Batman, other than the wanton killing of people, that's a little much, but he kills a lot of people, man.
He sure
Damn,
does.
relax,
He sure does.
Bats. But everything else, it really shows, I think, as a good Batman. And just the movie wasn't good. That's not his fault as an actor, but everything, like when you think back to Batman versus Superman, when you think about the movie, you think the movie sucked, but Batman was good. And that says a lot for Ben Affleck.
I agree. I think this is Ben Affleck does a great job playing Batman. I think he has that viciousness, that attack, and just I'm gonna get this job done, and you're gonna try to stop me. You're not, though.
Yeah. Not only that, I think he plays a really good Bruce Wayne.
I didn't like his Bruce Wayne too much, but you don't get to see a lot of it.
Yeah, Bruce. I mean, he's a little too serious compared to what we know as Bruce Wayne, but I think it still fits for how the movies are darker than the predecessors.
I don't want to get too deep in it, but I think with Bruce Wayne, they always fail because they show Bruce Wayne like in his mansion on his own, so that's just Batman.
Yeah,
if he's on his own, not in the suit, he's just being Batman. That's who he is. You need to show Bruce Wayne. You need to show Bruce Wayne when he is in public, and that's the portrayal of Bruce Wayne that is the real Bruce
Playboy
Wayne.
and just kind of messing around, being a philanthropist. Like, oh, I got the check. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. If you don't do that, if you show him in the mansion without the suit, that's not Bruce Wayne.
You know who did do that though? Actually,
George Clooney.
No. I was gonna go Christian Bale, and you know how much. You guys know I do not like Christian Bale as Batman, but him being that Bruce Wayne and that one moment where they're like, oh, they can swim in the pool. No, they can't. Okay, I just bought this place.
Yes.
That's Bruce Wayne.
Yes, exactly. And Keaton is really good, but you know what? I think more so that his two movies are just really excellent movies. And not that Keaton did a bad job, but those movies are awesome, especially the first one. Second one, there's some
Batman
stuff.
Returns is actually my favorite of the two.
It's interesting.
Yeah, Michael Keaton I feel did a great Batman. I think he does a good Bruce Wayne. It's a different kind of Batman.
Yeah.
And you're probably right, Johnny, that it wasn't so much that his Batman was amazing, than just that the movies were good and they had a good Batman.
Yeah. And then also the last thing I have on Affleck is I felt fear. Like when you watch that scene where he's like taking the guys out in the house, you're like, oh my God.
Where's he going to come from? What's he going to do next?
Yes, you're like, oh, this Batman is one that I am afraid to see this guy fight and hurt people.
That's what the animated series portrayed.
Yes.
And they did that very well.
They
press
really
Y and B
did.
for a takedown.
Yep. Yeah. Interestingly enough, it was almost split evenly. It was
Nice.
60% for Affleck, 40% for Keaton, which says a lot for a movie that's 20 years old.
Yep.
So it's not bad.
And now Keaton, he was a bat. Now he's a bird.
Yep.
He's
got
been
wings.
a bird before.
Yep. Bird. Was it
Birdman?
Birdman.
Interesting movie. All right, here we go.
And never mind, the semifinals. Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, or Andrew Garfield.
All right. Should I say my 2 points? My 1 point? My half a point?
Sure. Go ahead.
I don't like Toby's. They both have really bad crybaby faces, but Tobey Maguire's crybaby face is pretty terrible.
A lot of people cry ugly, man.
Yeah, that is very true. Tobey Maguire, I think, is a better actor, but as far as how I like Peter Parker in portrayal and then Spider-Man kind of tagging along with it, I think the combination of the two is better on Garfield's side.
Okay. I think the movies are just better, and at least the first two are just.
I agree. The movies are better.
Yeah, they're just better. And when he's in the role of Spider-Man, I think he fits it more than Garfield, and doubly so with Peter Parker. I can stand Garfield as Spider-Man. I can't stand Garfield as Peter Parker. His stumbling, buffoonish speaking. You speak like someone with I don't know, Parkinson's mixed with a tic, mixed with autism.
Damn.
Don't talk like that. God, Peter Parker's a genius. Why do you speak like this?
Listeners, we have had a full-on debate about this.
Yeah, we had
way back
back when we used to be gamer
or
debates.
something.
Yeah. Just gonna throw in my 2 cents, and we will move on. I feel Andrew Garfield is the better Spider-Man. He actually puts on the portrayal of jokey comic book guy that Spider-Man's supposed to be. I cannot, and I've asked Johnny on numerous occasions, name me one joke that Tobey Maguire has done in that movie. He can't do it. I understand. It's been a while since he's seen the movies. He'd have to see the movies again to see it. But you can think of Andrew Garfield being the comic in the Spider-Man suit.
Listener question. Who's the better Spider-Man?
All right. So I am happy to say.
Ugh, you failed me.
63% of people, they chose old Toby Maguire, Mark Maguire. And sadly, little 30% chose, the Garfield the cat.
Why are you docking him down 3 points? Sorry, 33%.
33%.
Yeah, give Garrett his credit. Every point counts.
Give him his F.
Yeah, that extra 3%. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
The other 32.
And last one,
which may have thrown some people for a curveball. Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds.
Did you see the pictures I put when I created the poll?
I did not have the chance to see them.
So the first picture is in the Deadpool mask when he's holding his face when he's like shocked.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other one is him lying in the fireplace just like sprawled out.
on the bear rug.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who they ever bring if they ever reboot Deadpool.
I don't think they'll go that far as to rebooting Deadpool versus everything else that there is
It'll
in
take
Marvel
a
and
while.
Fox.
Especially since Ryan Reynolds is not only is he like, this is a job to me, so I'll do a good job. This is Ryan Reynolds. I'm a fan of Deadpool. I read Deadpool. Let me show you what Deadpool's supposed to be like.
He can be this character for a long time.
Yeah, especially because they never have to show his face, so age will definitely not matter.
Yeah, and Ryan Reynolds he's in his like mid 40s, isn't he?
Something like that.
Yeah,
but
he's
he doesn't
young.
have to worry about it. It's not like he's doing his own stunts.
No.
So it doesn't matter. They don't show his face ever. His face is, it's like a penis wrinkled up and destroyed. So
It's like an ugly avocado had sex with another ugly avocado.
So, yeah. So, interestingly enough, 100% of listeners chose Ryan Reynolds because that was the only option. So, there we go.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Because there's no.
Wait, Ryan Reynolds won?
Yes, Ryan Reynolds got 100% of the votes, Garrett.
Awesome.
So, yeah. So, good job.
We all win there.
Good job, Ryan. All right, guys. Well, that is fan favorites for this week. Hopefully, you guys will hopefully excited with us on most of those. If you chose Andrew Garfield, then I don't know what you're doing. But give us some topics and themes for next week's fan favorites, guys. You know where to email us. Contact us at SCS. Contact us at scspodcast.net. That's weird to say. You can also shoot those out to us on our Twitter at Super Co-op Squad or on our Tumblr or on our Facebook. Just find us somehow. You can also go to the website. So do that. So Sony Pictures, in a move that I think surprised a lot of us, is acquiring Funimation. So Sony will have over 90% of the shares of the anime distributor, about 143 million that they've invested in this. Funimation CEO Jin Fukunaga will still remain CEO and have a small stake in the company. They had already owned a small subsidiary in the anime production company, but now and they owned Aniplex, but now they own Aniplex and Funimation.
Aniplex.
Yeah, Aniplex. I love that sound.
Terrible.
Yeah, I used to love when Funimation just changed theirs. He used to say Funimation, and they just changed it now.
You should be watching.
But they don't do it anymore the same way. Like, they changed it, so it's very different.
Yeah.
But this is a big move for Sony, a big change for Funimation. And honestly, it's huge for anime, especially to be delivered in the West.
Mm-hmm.
What is this going to do for anime, man? Because this is going to be huge.
I think this will make it even more mainstream on a much higher level. We all know that Crunchyroll went huge. I mean, Crunchyroll had their first. Have they had their con already? That's not here. There.
Yes, they have
their con.
They already had it. Yeah. So I mean, to have their own convention just based off a streaming service.
They just had a 6-day marathon, 24 hours on Twitch.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know about this. It's huge, and whether they made an agreement or Sony was like, "Hey, I'm just going to buy you out, and you just take it." This is going to be. I think this is going to be really good for anime fans. This is going to be good overall for people that want to get into anime. I think there's going to be a couple of drawbacks, but I'll save that for a second.
So this is not about Crunchyroll, so I won't get too heavily into it, but this probably will not affect Crunchyroll and what they can have, because that was probably a contract. Not probably. It is a contract that's already been established with Funimation. So that's not going to change what Sony's going to allow for now. I don't think we'll see any ramifications
Well, yeah,
for a bit.
Funimation has their own app and their own distributor.
Right, but I'm saying a lot of Funimation's content is streamable through Crunchyroll,
Because
and
of
Crunchyroll
contracts.
makes
True.
exactly. But what this is going to do, I think, Joshua, to your point, is that we're going to get a lot more anime out here. It's also going to be more readily available through more channels. And I think, honestly, we're going to see a lot more anime come to the big screen.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so. And I think something that you're probably going to bring up, I'm hoping it's going to have more acceleration on dubbing.
A lot more girls and tentacles. So that's going to come out quite a bit more.
He went
Not
there.
quite my thing, but okay.
He went there. That's your thing, Johnny. If you
It's not. I swear
what's
it's
your
not.
favorite Pokemon? Tentacruel?
Well, I mean, if
Tangela?
Misty's there, maybe.
Movie. Okay.
Okay, we're done.
Anyway,
Subject
yeah.
is over.
So I do think with this extra money and production, we will see more dubbing, more quickly, more
I
more
we'll
faster.
probably-
What's the proper grammar?
Got to go fast.
More quickly,
There you go. There you
quicker.
quicklier.
Just quicker is fine. Yeah, I think we'll see dubbing and probably better dubbing because I can't for the life of me understand why you guys enjoy the dubbing that we get because most of it, in my opinion, is just by second-rate actors and second-rate voice actors who just they would not get work on regular anime or regular cartoons.
Matthew Mercer, second rate.
He's not
Steve Bloom,
they're
second
not
rate.
in that many anime though. Look at the big anime, Garrett. Who's voicing Naruto? Who's voicing people in One Piece on their dubs?
I
Not
don't watch One Piece. I don't know.
okay. But my point though is those are the biggest ones and the biggest anime, the biggest shows. They don't have first-rate American actors.
go.
They've got
I'll agree with that.
they got third-tier people doing the voice acting.
They don't have top tier
Exactly.
voice acting.
They do not have top-tier voice.
because they can't pay them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They do not. They cannot pay them. And you're right. Some shows have it, but a lot of the anime has people who is like their first job getting voice acting done. They suck.
Fair enough.
But I think we'll see that change quite a bit. We've already seen, a lot of, I should say a lot, 3, 4, but we've seen a bigger increase in anime coming to the big screen, even if it's like for 2 days or whatever, and just Dragon Ball Z type stuff. We're going to see a lot more of that.
Yeah.
And coming out for like months or a month
I
or
hope
two.
so because most of the time it's either 2 or 3 days or it's like 1 week at select theaters, not like across all the chains.
That's true. I think this is going to be huge for anime, like we've discussed, and I think this is important. Okay, so I don't think it's important in the fact that we need this, but it's an important switch for the film industry and also the television industry because honestly, especially in film, they're running out of original ideas. Look at how many of our movies are coming from books, comic books.
Reboots.
Yeah, reboots. I mean, damn, look at what the heck was a Twilight spinoff? 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey was a book that came out from someone like
That was a Twilight spinoff?
it was. So that's what I was going to say. So 50 Shades of Grey came from someone who did like their own fan fiction of Twilight. That became a book, which became a movie. Right? So
Congratulations, dude.
she's making a lot of money. But my point is that original ideas are harder to come by and do well in Hollywood. And this is a new outlet that they can pull ideas from and make money from. So that's huge.
As long as we don't get any live action ones.
We will, I'm sure. But hopefully better ones, right? No Attack on Titans garbage. Don't watch that.
Got rid of the horses.
Yeah, stupid.
That live action trailer for Full Metal Alchemist looks really good though. This guy.
I'm just a little
Stick to your Death Note.
Well, we'll see if that's good, Netflix. And even Netflix, hopping in there. But what is this? We've talked about how this is going to affect, Funimation and anime in the West. How does this help Sony?
Well,
Gosh.
So I'm wondering if this is going to have any impact on PlayStation. There is a Funimation app on PlayStation. Maybe now they can nix the Funimation purchase and subscription, and if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you have access to Funimation.
Stream it straight through Sony, or just have a partnership where you get it for free.
Yeah, I'm thinking if there's going to be any kind of changes like that.
Do you have to pay for the Funimation app?
Yeah, 60 a year.
60 a year. So you just replace that with PlayStation Plus, and now Sony gets the full cut.
Boom.
That'd be awesome if they added that, where it's just an addition to what you get for PS Plus. That'd be nice. You know what? I think this is big for Sony because it just gives them new outlets to have better content and different, more diverse content, and you need that. This is a realm. We've talked about peak TV in the past on our episodes. And peak TV is a real thing. And to overcome peak TV, and if you don't know what that is, you can look up our episode. I'll have a link for the episode it came from in the show notes. But to overcome peak TV and the problems with it, you need to have better content, but you also need to have different content. And that's going to be important. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. I mean, just look at for example, having different content. You were saying it's slightly off topic, but I cut the cable. I'm no longer, on a television network or using any of that because I now have YouTube. That's very different from, your standard network shows.
Yeah, it's true. And then also they got to look at other ways to get money on the TV side, like you kind of, talked about. And you can't do it by making shows for primetime networks the same way. They get their money from advertisements, but now it's very clear people are just going to spend their dollars to get their to get their content streamed for $8, $10. That's the better way to go.
Yeah, and I like how you brought out advertising because I think this is going to be a step into marketing your own product. So imagine you have a Sony TV and you're always showing like random half-second clips of like movies and shows, but now you can throw anime into the mix and have that as part of your advertising or marketing campaign. I think that'll be big. I think they're thinking of big bucks down the line. Revenue is just going to slowly add up, and it's going to add up big, I think, because they're going to have a piece of all of that.
Yeah, that's true. Or even from the standpoint of if they just let Funimation do what they've been doing already. Now, whenever Crunchyroll's given a cut of money to Funimation to have their shows on Crunchyroll or Hulu Plus or Netflix, that's Sony money now. Even if they do nothing else, now whatever money that they're getting, that Funimation has been receiving from streaming sites, now Sony gets that money.
They have 95%.
That's a huge amount.
That's almost all of it.
They control the company. So yeah, that's awesome.
I'm really looking forward to that Spider-Man anime.
That's interesting. We could actually see something like that. So cool. We'll see how that goes, and let us know your thoughts. What you think will change with the anime in the future now that Sony, a major publishing and producer a major production company in films owns a very major anime distributor. So how's that going to change the industry? Let us know what your thoughts are.
Joshua, did you have anything? You said you thought there would be some drawbacks later down the line. Did you?
I think the only thing is we kind of touched on it. Certain licensing. You're not going to be able to have or stream certain anime or certain shows because Crunchyroll has it, or because Funimation has their partnership. Are you taking a little bit here? Are you? I'm trying to put it in the words. It's kind of hard.
I see your point. So
how are you going to share?
Sony could be limited based upon previous contracts that exist that Funimation has made. So they couldn't just say, okay, well, we're going to take X anime and put it on PS Plus exclusively to benefit from it because we want to, but we can't because there's already an existing contract.
Yeah, and if it's already an existing contract, that they don't have that pull anymore because that's only available on Crunchyroll. And if people that want to watch this show that happens to be directly tied to Funimation because it's contracted, Sony doesn't get any piece of that. So I think
they still get the money from Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Crunchyroll says we're every month we're going to give you X percentage of money for how many, streams or downloads or plays your movie gets. Now that's money coming to Sony, and that contract's only going to last for an existential amount of time. It's not going to last forever.
Yeah. And
it's a good point.
And the other thing I'm hoping that Sony doesn't get a big head about this and just start making a bunch of decisions that either are going to tank or it's just not a good investment because they're reaching out so far just because now they have this pull with Funimation.
Yeah. We need more lollies.
Ooh, we'll see. All right, guys. Well, let us know your thoughts, and we're moving on. All right, so gamer trivia. So every week, two of us go head-to-head in a best-of-5 trivia contest. The winner stays in place next week, while the loser makes next week's trivia. So play along and find out just how much gaming knowledge you have in gamer trivia. So Garrett won last week. Superman did him right. Joshua, it's on you.
Yes, it is.
So what you got for us, bro?
I'm pulling out my notes.
All right.
So I wanted to do something a little bit different. I'm veering away from games. So we're still bucking the superhero or supervillain trend. I'm a big Marvel guy. I'm a big DC guy. Who is my favorite DC superhero?
You're wearing the shirt.
Now, just because I'm wearing a shirt doesn't mean that we're doing trivia about it.
I believe
Unlike
it's
some people over here, Garrett.
I believe it's Green Arrow.
Green Arrow is not my number one.
All right, I don't know.
I thought it was the Flash.
It is the Flash. No, I did not plan to wear a Flash shirt because I did Flash
He's
trivia.
wearing a Flash shirt, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, I am. This was not planned, but we are doing Flash trivia.
All right.
I have yet to do anything non-video game related.
This will be interesting because I wonder if you're going to do actual like continuity Flash comic stuff or stuff based on the TV show. If it's a TV show, I'm screwed.
Yeah, because I know you don't watch the TV show.
Exactly.
And Garrett's seen maybe one season.
Maybe one season.
Maybe.
All right, let's go. Let's
All right.
go.
You guys ready?
Ready.
All right. Question number 1. Who is the original Flash? Is it A, Barry Allen, B, Jay Garrick, C, Eobard Thawne, or D, Wally West? I have Garrett's answer. And I have Johnny's answer. Very quickly, you have both picked B, and the correct answer is B, Jay Garrick.
I mean,
is
we
the
got to
original
go
Flash.
fast. It's Flash.
Ah, that's my line. Save it for the speed run. All right. Score is 1 Johnny for that correct answer. 1 Garrett. It is tied 1-1. Question number 2. In what year did the Flash first debut in the comics? Is it A, 1940, B, 1944, C, 1950, or D, 1954? I have Garrett's answer. I have Johnny's answer. Johnny, you said C, the Flash debuted in 1950. Garrett, you said B, the Flash debuted in 1944. The correct answer is 1940. A. Flash comic first debuted in 1940. Jay Garrick gets his Flash powers.
All right.
So it is incorrect for both of you, but the score is still tied 1-1. Fun fact number 1. Did you know that Barry Allen has a twin brother?
I actually did not know that.
Didn't know that.
So just to kind of not go too much into it, there was a doctor that botched a delivery of the wealthy Thawne family and essentially killed the baby. And Nora Allen had twins, but the doctor told her that she had a stillborn child, took that baby, and gave it to the Thawne family.
Damn, that's dirty.
That's cold-blooded,
then,
man.
Yeah, and then that baby finds out later on, and that's why you have a lot of the feuds between Eobard Thawne and Barry Allen, or through that lineage.
Interesting.
Yeah, exactly. That is a fun fact. All right, back to the game. Question number 3. As the Flash, Jay Garrick was a founding member of what super team? Is it A, the Super Friends, B, the Justice League of America, C, the Justice Society of America, or D, the Teen Titans? I have Garrett's answer and Johnny's answer. Garrett, you said it was C, the Justice Society of America. As did Johnny. You said it was the Justice Society of America. The answer is C, the Justice Society of America. So that is 1 point for you, Garrett, 1 for you, Johnny. So the score is 2-2. Hi, you see what I did there? It's kind of weird. Question number 4. How many Flash heroes are there? Is it A, 3, B, 4, C, 5, or D, 6?
I really hope you did your homework here. Really hope you did your homework here.
Well, based on what I may have looked up, I have my answer here.
Answers one more time.
Yeah, how many Flash heroes are there? Is it A, 3, B, 4, C, 5, or D, 6? Garrett is shaking his head. But he's giving me his answer, though. Johnny was a little bit nervous because apparently I don't do comics. But he gave me his answer. Garrett, you said C, there are 5 Flash heroes. Johnny, you said D, there are 6. Based on the homework I did, I counted B, 4 Flash heroes.
Can you name them? If you can't, it's fine. If you can't, don't worry about it.
I'm checking my later trivia to see if it's going to contradict anything.
Okay, don't worry about it. Just go ahead.
Okay.
Just go ahead.
Okay. So based on my research, that is incorrect, and I apologize if I am wrong to anybody doing trivia at home.
It's circumstantial, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's incorrect on my homework on Gary and Johnny, but the score is still tied 2-2. Fun fact number 2, in the comics, Barry Allen cannot be mind controlled. This is because Barry's mind can outpace the average human mind, just like his feet, and this means that Gorilla Grodd cannot even mind control Barry Allen.
Another good fact. I'm getting good at these.
Thank you. I do some homework kind of good. Question number 5. How did Iris West learn that Barry Allen was the Flash? How did Iris West learn that Barry Allen was the Flash?
What question number is this?
5.
Okay.
Is there a certain continuity we're going with? Or we leave? Is that under wraps? Comics.
We're not doing TV shows.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. I was gonna say that. How did comics?
Thank you.
Is it A, she saw Barry change into his costume? B, Barry told her on their wedding day? C, Wally West told her when he found out? Or D, she overheard Barry talking in his sleep? I have Johnny's answer. I have Garrett's answer. You're both looking at each other like it's go time. All right, Johnny, you said C. Her brother Wally West told her once he found out Barry was a Flash. And Garrett, you said D. She overheard Barry talking in his sleep. The correct answer is D. She overheard Barry Allen talking in his sleep. So in the comics, Barry wanted to tell her closer to their wedding day. Or actually, no, this was after their wedding. But he was so nerved up that he couldn't do it, and he eventually did it in his sleep and confronted Iris West about it. And she said, "No, I've known this for months. You've been talking in your sleep, and I already knew." But she hid it from him.
Okay.
Until he was prepared to tell.
Oh,
kind of
nice.
like Daredevil in the Netflix show.
Kind of like Daredevil.
Kind of like that.
Alrighty. Garrett,
that is correct for you. You have 3 points. Johnny, that's incorrect. You have 2. So it's time for the salty runback question. You know how this works? Bet as many points as you wish, and you will win that many points if you get it right. You will lose that many if you get it wrong. All right. I have Johnny's bet. And Garrett, I have your bet. The salty question. The Flash has several nicknames, but there is one main universal nickname among all the Flash heroes. What is the Flash's nickname? And I will give you a hint. It is not that he is the fastest man alive. What nickname dons all the Flash heroes? I have Garrett's answer. And he is just grinning so hard. He is hoping that is correct. He is hoping that is correct. Curled lip and everything. I have Johnny's answer. He seems pretty confident.
I'm not.
All right. So, both of you have said that the Scarlet Speedster is the Flash's nickname. And both of you are correct. He has about like 9 or 10 different nicknames, but the Scarlet Speedster is the one that is universally renowned as his nickname. So, correct for both of you, but now for the points. Who should I read off first?
It doesn't matter.
All right, so Garrett, you had 3 points. You bet 1 point. That puts you to 4 points. But Johnny had 2 points, and he bet 2 points, and that puts him also to 4 points.
All right.
So we have a tie game. So in a tie game, that means sudden death. So there are no multiple choice answers. You text me your answer, and whoever gets it right and the other one doesn't will be this week's trivia champion.
Okay.
Does that mean Garrett might be... Is this his 3-peat?
It would be a 3-peat if he gets it, yeah.
Dang, this is like your 4th 3-peat. Let's see if he will get that crown. So, my first bonus question. What is the name of the time paradox when Barry Allen goes back to the past to save his mom? I have Garrett's answer. You did it with an effect. So it read, Johnny sent a loud effect, and I thought that was your answer. All right, so both of you have said Flashpoint, and the correct answer is Flashpoint. Next question. Where does the Flash
hours
get his
later.
powers from? So in one of the Flash comics, there's a crossover with Marvel, and the Flash essentially merges with another Marvel character. Do you know which character that is? No, I look like the smart one.
I don't think this is the right answer, but it'd be really cool. Juggernaut.
No.
I mean, it just seems too cliche to say Quicksilver. So Quicksilver.
I will accept that answer because there are 3 different characters that he merges with. One of them is Quicksilver.
Yay!
All right. Well,
I don't remember what... I know Ghost Rider is one of them.
That's cool.
And I don't remember what the third one is. But I will accept one of the 3 answers. And Quicksilver was one of them.
All right.
So in a battle of wills and 18 questions later, not exactly. Johnny, you are this week's Flash Trivia.
My God, this is going to take some editing.
Good job, sir.
Thanks.
It's okay. We had to narrow it down somehow. I mean, at this point, I was like, if you don't know some of the basic stuff, like the parents' names.
I really should have known Nora.
I thought you guys would, because I said it in fun fact number 1.
Did you?
I did. Because I said Nora had twin sons.
You did.
Cool. All right. Well, that's fan favorites. I won in a strange,
That's trivia, sir.
very, very elongated trivia.
I didn't think it was going to be tied.
Considering we were doing Flash trivia and it took super long. That's funny. But yeah, hopefully you guys, someone out there is like, you guys are idiots. I knew every question. And I'm sorry, you fanboy of Flash.
And someone else is like, I love the Flash.
Yeah. Well, that is trivia. You know what? My sister-in-law Maria probably would have aced this. She watches that show religiously. She would have killed us. But okay, well that's not fan favorites. That is gamer trivia.
Yes, it is.
That's what we just did, gamer trivia.
Sure.
So hopefully you did much better than we did in the end there. So an opinion piece. So in the last year or two, we've had a huge amount of developers who have began to respond drastically to fan and media backlash and response before a game's release, and kind of having the route and avenue of the game's development changed before it releases based upon what's being said in comments and on internet media boards and by news outlets. So as a trend, how do you guys feel about, fan and media reaction, having a part to play in how games and other media are created and established?
Yeah. So, this was my piece I wanted to talk about. So just to kind of highlight where I got this from. So the developers that are with Ubisoft that are doing Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, that game got leaked and we saw a picture of Mario with like a Mega Buster and we had the Rabbids with all different guns and weapons. And there was a lot of backlash about this. This looks terrible. Why would they ever do this to Mario? Why is Ubisoft partnering with Mario? Like, what's going on? And that team and the head of that department really took that to heart. And it really goes to show how words can really impact how the demeanor is. And they said the morale was down and they weren't excited because this was pre-E3. They were going to go to E3 to show off their project and what they've been spending a lot of their time on. And to get that, it really hit them hard. But he said they pushed through and they kept going and they had faith in the project they had built. And, after E3, after people got their hands on it and still now, at the different conventions and cons we got, people are really liking and enjoying and very well anticipating to play this game. To answer the question, I think we all have our opinions and we're all entitled to them, but for a game to not be in your hands and you're looking just at a picture, it's not even box art confirmed. You don't know what the game looks like graphically in game, to really judge a book by its cover, so to speak. I don't think that's good because you really don't know what's going to come out of it. And just to really bash a studio and really talk down about something you really don't know anything about, I don't like that. I think that hurts more than it helps, even though you're entitled to your own opinion.
I do agree with that. It is bad. And, I wanna be clear in saying that it's not okay to berate. Thank you.
De nada.
and just kind of bash people for something that you haven't experienced. You can't say that. Why would they put those two together? It looks like crap. And You can, however, say something doesn't interest you. I myself, to put it out there, my opinion on rabbits, I've always hated them. I've always hated the rabbits. I played the rabbits games. I just think it's just a whole bunch of dribble. It's just a whole bunch of nothing. And so I don't want to see those characters with Mario. It's not so much me saying, what are you guys thinking? You guys could be putting your time and money in something so much better. This is going to be retarded or stupid. Just, I know that I don't like the rabbits.
All right, so here's Johnny's couple of pennies, his 2 cents.
Here we go.
Wow. Garrett didn't get that.
No, because when you say that, it's about to go down.
No, okay. So I think that this actually is a good thing in some regards and a bad thing in others. In other ways, I think it's a good thing for certain genres. So, for instance, fighting games. I think that when a fighting game is about to be released or it's in development and they're releasing betas and having it at shows and having people get hands-on with it and people react to, the way the game plays or, how the wake-up game is or how hitboxes are and learning that and people, this is not right, it's kind of clunky or whatever. That is a good thing. You want your betas and your demos and your playthroughs for, your fans who are the most passionate to give you the feedback that's essential then because it's a game that it needs it. And I think that's fair. I want a developer to do that in that instance. What I don't want is a developer to change a game in other realms. So if someone rips on the art style or, character models or just the fact the game exists beforehand or what's in the game beforehand, I don't think that's a good reason for you to change what you're doing in your development cycle. That seems very superficial for you to be that thin-skinned during your project's work. I don't like that. One
counterpoint I want to bring up, because it's current in the news right now, is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. They need to fix those character models. For this to be a later installment in the game and it looks worse than the previous game, that's a problem.
That's actually a very fair point. And I might have misspoke with the character models or what I meant was artwork. So like, for instance,
cell shading or something like that. When Wind Waker came out, and people were like, this looks stupid. This looks like a kid's game. It's so cartoony.
I was going to reference Borderlands. People were like ripping Borderlands for its cell shaded artwork and it didn't look photorealistic because at that time, the biggest thing in gaming was hyper realism, Call of Duty,
Battlefield, Halo to an extent.
And as an artistic style and a choice, Borderlands did something very different, which I really enjoyed, and it's been very successful for them. But if they would have been thin-skinned about it, and as a matter of fact, at one point, Borderlands was supposed to be very photorealistic.
Yes, when it first was announced.
Yeah, and it got changed to the chagrin of many. But it was a good, bold move. And had Borderlands done what some of these other developers are doing and reacting, going, oh, well, people are making a big fuss online about it and went back, Borderlands would not be the game in the franchise that it is today.
I agree with that. I also agree with your first comment about being able to
add feedback,
get feedback from demos, betas, and things like that. And that is the reason why demos and betas are out, to really get the game in the players' hands, get feedback. What can we do better? What can we polish? How can we make this game a better experience for you? The difference in my example is Mario and Rabbids. All we saw was a screenshot, and people are bashing that game just based off a screen, and we don't even know at that point if it was confirmed as that's what it's going to look like in game.
All right, so here's the thing on that as well. Anything you do as far as content creation, people are not going to like it. You're going to have people who hate it or think it's stupid or make fun of it or make a meme about it or laugh at you.
Yeah.
If you're a content creator from any regards, YouTube, artwork,
podcasts,
podcasts, Pinterest, all the way up to movies, people are going to hate on you. And you know what? For every one comment you get that's great, you're going to get 100 that are bad.
Especially on YouTube.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Oh God, YouTube is just a cesspool of mean-spirited. Sorry. Mean-spirited.
Scum and villainy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you've never seen a more wretched hive of scum and villainy on the internet than
on YouTube comments.
But my point is that you got to be tougher than that, man. If you're making something, especially if it's your career, getting paid to develop this game or develop anything, you can't allow that to deter you from what you got to make. So, you know what? Nut up, Ubisoft. Nut up.
Which I think they did.
Yeah.
Because we're finding out this after the fact. And two things I really liked that really showcased, and I think was a turning point for people to give some extra thought in the game. Number one, I don't remember his name, but he was the one that is pretty much running the development. And he came on stage on the press conference and he essentially was tearing up that he finally got to talk about this project that they've been working so hard on.
It's good to see that kind of passion.
Yes, exactly. Exactly why I think it helped, because it shows that they're just not taking a franchise and they're just trying to run it to the gutter with just some crazy idea they came up with. Like, no, they put their heart and soul to come up with it. Second thing, Miyamoto coming on that stage and showing that, hey, I wanted to partner with them. They came up with an idea and I'm here to support them and what they believe they can take with this character and turn it to a different level. The only thing they couldn't do was make Mario jump. Miyamoto said that, hey, you do whatever you want practically, but jumping, that's my thing. You cannot have this character jump on his own. So they had
platforming.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if that includes like climbing over ledges and.
I don't think it includes
because that's stuff in the gameplay.
Yeah, but it's not like you going up to an item or a wall and then you press A and then he jumps and then you hold forward to go over it. It's more like synonymous
with
this
action.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, I mean, that was, I guess, his only requirement. And I played the game. I think it's going to be great. And having a strategy game, we haven't had a strategy game. We've had a bunch of RPGs, but we never had a Mario like strategy game. And that's what I'm most excited about.
So here's the flip side of this. With betas and demos and fan feedback and responding to it, you've got to be very careful because there's never going to be a game or no media in the history of media will everyone love. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. So you've got to be true to your vision. You can't respond willy-nilly, free willy to everybody's responses. So if you get this group of people that says, I don't like it, you can't go, okay, we're going to change that for them. And this guy says, oh, I don't like this. Okay, we'll do that. We'll add this. Now you're making a product that's not your own. Yep. If you have your vision, you need to be, again, thick-skinned enough to go, you know what? I see what you're saying and I will take it into consideration, but you got to take a hard line stance on what you want and then really review what they're saying and make a decision if it belongs as far as a change. But you can't just be switching up your game because now you're going to get crap. You know, you're going to make a game that's not what you envisioned, and that's going to be a bad game. So, you know, be very careful with what you're doing and what you're changing.
You're going for prime steak and you got gumbo.
Right.
What's wrong with gumbo?
Nothing's wrong with gumbo, but that's not what you wanted.
You don't put steak in gumbo.
Everyone put everything together, and now you got steak gumbo.
And so that's another thing I can see being a problem with this kind of era of immediate fan feedback. You know, 3 or 4 betas coming out for a game before its release. You start trying to change everything up because of what people want or what people say they want. And again, that can be a very small minority who are outcrying versus the majority of people who are going to play your game. Because the minority of people, the loudest people you're going to hear, what's that saying? The squeaky wheel always gets to grease. The people who are going to cry out are going to be the very minimal amount of people, but you're going to hear them the loudest.
Yeah.
So, you know, be careful when you're out there, you know, checking for fan feedback.
Yeah, and I do agree that you do have to be, you know, I guess you could say, as you said, thick-skinned. You can't just give in because a bunch of hate mails coming in or somebody, what was it No Man's Sky, where it just didn't look like it did in the original preview, and someone like threatened them to kill them because they better change the game.
That was No Man's Sky.
It was No Man's Sky, right?
I feel got a bad rap. I don't think they deserve the hate that they're getting.
Yeah, so like for an example, that can be maybe not as detrimental, but it can definitely have a piece in the back of your mind where you're just like, man, that hit me and that really took it to home. I don't think you need to do that because I think, as you point out, Johnny, you made this game. You should back it up and support it for your vision, not necessarily everyone else's vision.
Yeah.
I mean, if you write a book, you watch a movie, hey, you make a joke. If they don't like it, that's not on you per se.
It's just SOL for you, bro.
Yeah. I mean, that's your dream. That's your vision. That's you.
Yep.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but you stand behind your product and
that's
you just go with the flow.
Yeah. Cool. So let us know what you guys think. You know, should fans and media have a more integral part of of the development of a game with their feedback, or less? Or is it better when it's the project is, on its own and it's created by its visionaries and no one else? Let us know what you think. Email us, contact@scspodcast.net. Hit us up on Twitter @SuperCoopSquad, Facebook @SuperCoopSquad, Tumblr @SuperCoop. You know how to find us.
Hey everyone, this is Joshua here. On behalf of the Super Co-op Squad, we would like to thank you for joining us as you do each and every week, or hopefully each and every week. If you could take some time and leave us a review, that would be greatly appreciated. Spread the word, let your family and friends know, and everyone else on social media to come check us out. We got plenty of platforms to do it: iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. We're all there. And if you really, really, really like us, drop us a line, give us an email, or as Johnny said, you can text them. Let us know what you think. Appreciate everything you do for us. Now back to the show.
All right, guys, so speed run. Every week we break down 10 news stories, fun facts that just didn't quite make the list for a full segment. We've got 1 minute per topic before we move on to the next. Finished or not, we got to go fast.
Like the Flash.
In the speed run. Pacific Rim Uprising has unfortunately been pushed back for 1 month. The new release date will be March 23rd, 2018.
I'm going to say what you say, Johnny. Why tell us that?
Yeah, there's no point.
I mean, tell us that tell us that in January. Don't tell us 8 months beforehand. We pushed it back 1 month.
Yeah, we really don't care. But you know what? I'm excited for this movie, bro.
Yes.
Guess who's in it?
John Boyega!
Exactly.
My boy!
He's recruiting you to join the Rim.
I really like him as an actor, man. You know what? He's getting roles. He's doing the Harrison Ford, man.
I want to ask a question, but I feel like you're going to tell us. Did you go watch Detroit?
I have not yet watched Detroit.
Okay,
I will watch it.
Yeah,
My mom was not a fan.
Really?
Yeah, I think she was more upset about the content of it rather than whether the quality of the movie.
Okay.
That's not what this is about.
Yeah, that's correct.
Did you watch Pacific Rim, the first one?
Yes.
Awesome.
You did?
I thought it was.
I know a lot of times you miss out on the movies.
Those kaiju, man.
I thought it was really good.
I thought it was good. I don't think it was great.
Next.
Nah, I didn't think it was going to go well.
Modders have created a Kermit the Frog skin in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. This new puppet Super Saiyan is taking the internet by storm.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Why no, Jalen? No, I haven't. So I saw clips of it, and immediately when I see Kermit the Frog, not Kermit the Frog, but when I see that it's Kermit the Frog modded into something, I'm like, okay, I don't care anymore, and I scroll away.
You really scrolled away? You didn't even watch it?
I didn't watch it because I don't care for that kind of stuff. Like, oh, look at this funny thing I can do. Oh, now let's play Shooting Stars. But
it's great though.
You know,
I love those Shooting Stars videos, man.
Yeah, I'm just sick of just stupid dumb memes like that.
So I did see this, and it was really funny to watch, but it wasn't like something that was so media worthy, I think. But that's just how the internet rolls.
I agree with that, but one person likes it, and then a bunch of people like it, and then you can't not see it because it's every feed. It's everybody's talking about it and sharing it. It was a skin for Trunks. I mean,
it is pretty funny.
I cannot see it because I haven't.
But you know about it, though, right?
Yeah.
So you've seen the screen. You saw.
Next.
You saw it. EA's NBA Live series is coming back this year with NBA Live 18, and for the first time ever in a video game, you'll be able to play as WNBA players and teams.
That is actually awesomely cool. But
no one's going to do it.
It's NBA Live. Nobody buys NBA Live at all.
A very, 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 very small few.
Well, now if you want to play in the WNBA, you will.
It is a pathetic game. Honestly, I'm sorry. If you like NBA Live, you're doing it wrong because that game sucks.
It had its time, and it's a time long gone by.
On the PS2.
Yeah.
I mean, the 2K series is superior, and this is awesome for the WNBA.
Oh, yes. Good exposure.
Yeah, that's awesome. But, I mean, come on, 2K, hop on this, bruh.
Garrett, I know you're not in sports and do sports or anything sports related, but
I think it's cool that they have the WNBA.
Garrett can't spell sports.
Can you spell WNBA?
There's a V in there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is good because it gets that exposure, but they haven't confirmed if there's going to be like a league. Cut me off.
Mario is growing up. For the first time ever, a standalone Mario game is getting an E plus 10 rating, where normally it gets an E for everyone rating. It has not been displayed how or why this rating has come to be. Yeah, so I thought this was interesting.
Would this be Mario Odyssey?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, maybe Peach and Bowser are going to do a little more than they normally do.
Wow, dude, going there.
Hey, they're getting married.
I think it's probably maybe just a little bit more violent. Not violent like crazy violent, but just a little bit more.
Because you're possessing people with your hat?
Maybe like just the way he's fighting is a little bit more,
I mean, what can E10 really mean that? What can be an E10 that's not an E, but is less than something in T?
Isn't like the Skylander series, isn't that E10 plus?
I would not know.
I think so.
Or like Zelda is E10 plus, it's not E.
Maybe violence?
Maybe it's teen, I don't know.
It's like very mild, like fantasy violence, or maybe there's some like a suggestive theme like gambling or,
Yes.
or
Yeah,
something that's like it doesn't hurt anybody because it's in a context where it's like a coin slot machine or something, but because it's gambling, it's adult oriented.
Next, Microsoft reveals 3 new controller designs for its controllers. This is not part of the custom controller line.
Have you guys seen the controllers?
I have.
Have you seen about this? Have you heard about this?
I really like the Red Shadow controller.
That one was pretty cool. I was more a fan of the I don't remember the gray one. Not there's
with the green
Yes.
inner thumbsticks.
Yes, that one I like.
underlying.
Yeah, I like this. I like them adding new controllers. They haven't really changed it up too much since the 2014 when the console came out. So this is good.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that it's not part of the custom line. Where if you want like a shadow type of theme, you can't just create your own shadow color.
The color scheme.
Yeah, or like even the thumbsticks. Underneath the thumbsticks, they're a different color. Like neon green is really cool on a silver controller, but can I customize that on my own controller?
Nope.
Like, I want a red thumbstick with a blue under thumbstick. I don't know.
To be fair, I think the custom controller thing is really cool, and the fact that you can make almost any controller that you can think of.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I mean, really, what do you need after that? And especially, you can engrave your next.
Yep. Square Enix's next title in the popular RPG series Dragon Quest XI sells 2 million copies in 2 days. It's currently released in Japan for PS4 and 3DS, but the 3DS version has sold more than half of the total.
And I saw you had to think there about which Roman numeral that was, that XI.
I'm not wearing my glasses, and the screen is far away.
My glasses.
Shut
a
up.
million copies a day. That's what that is.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty phenomenal, I think.
Sadly, it'll never, ever do that in the West.
No, not like that.
The series is not that popular here.
But they will bring it to the West. It's just it's just when. And this is not including digital sales.
Is this the Dragon Quest that they had a bundle that came with the PS4 and the 3DS copy?
Yep.
Okay. I wonder if they'll do that here in the West.
I hope so.
I find that funny that the 3DS version sold more when you could buy them as a bundle. But whatever.
I mean, just
you take it on the go.
Yeah, because you can take it portable, and it's probably going to come to Switch, which would be great.
That would be
a great
good
port for Switch. Maybe not.
Well, no, probably not, just because it's PS4 and 3DS.
Yeah, and this is one of the highest selling RPGs in Japan, right next to Persona.
Lucasfilms hired a new writer for episode IX-9. Jack Thorne will now be the writer and rewrite the script, though it is not known how extensive the rewrite will be for the 2019 film.
Who?
So, all right. This is news because it's Star Wars, but you know what? Disney has been doing this for a large amount of their films, especially the Star Wars ones. And I don't like this. I don't like this as a practice for movies.
They've been good and enjoyable so far.
I mean, okay, you're right. They have been enjoyable, but they haven't been
phenomenal.
They haven't been, Star Wars. They haven't been what we want it to be in comparison to the original trilogy. And I don't know if we can ever get back to that because that ushered in something never before seen as far as the scope of what it did, not story-wise, but just visually and effects and stuff, and story a little bit, and sci-fi. But that's what I want. I want it to be that again. And when you're always having to rewrite and add things and fire directors and bring in new directors, you're not going to get that.
It's gonna be very tough to have another never before seen. Like for me, the last time I saw a movie that was like mind blowing was like
next. No one's ever gonna know.
Damn it! It was on my tongue.
I haven't heard of that movie. Capcom announced 2 more characters for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite: Firebrand and Dormammu.
Firebrand wants to bargain.
Do not care. We are getting more of the same characters. There's no risk. They're not doing anything.
All right, I thought.
And how
about
does Capcom announce that when Dormammu's a Marvel character?
Because it's Capcom's game.
It's Capcom's game, dude.
They have the Marvel cover variants, and they show those two characters on that one. I mean, there's a leak list, and everything on the leak list has been true so far.
I think that they're gonna surprise us. I think they're gonna have the roster that we want.
God,
so the problem,
they really need to.
Okay, the problem, right? So when Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out, it had a regular roster compared to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where 2 had 56 characters or something.
You're talking quantity of characters,
right?
So.
Quantity.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have all the characters from 3 come back and then just blow us away with like 80 characters in the roster.
Well, considering half the roster from 3 is here, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'd like.
Because they're not doing anything new.
Yep, that's very
They
Johnny.
have like 4 new characters that wasn't in the previous
It
game.
upsets me. Why am I not? No. Next.
The world will never know. An apparent leak on the internet shows the possibility of new features for the iPhone 8. 3D face scanning, a full face touchscreen, and the removal of the home button.
I'll be getting one of these
Blasphemous.
Don't take my home.
I need that home button.
Yeah, I'm grabbing one. I'm gonna try to get one day one, bruh. So
I like how you told me that like last week. You're like, Joshua, when this comes out, I'm getting it, bro.
I'm getting it. Yeah, I always wait for the second number. So I guess the even numbers, because I had a 4, then I got a 6, now I'm getting an 8.
We don't even know if it's going to be called 8 because it's the 10th anniversary, but it's the next in line. They're not going to call it the 7S.
10-8.
They're just going to call it the iPhone. Watch.
iPhone.
They did that with the iPad.
Yeah, they
The iPod 8i.
yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care what they call it. I'm getting one. Hashtag I like Apple phones.
It doesn't surprise me that the possibility or leak that it's going to be all touchscreen because that's something that Samsung recently did, and
That's
Apple.
the future.
Yeah, it allows the phone to be smaller but have a bigger screen at the same time.
The problem with this is that Apple used to be, innovators, and now they're just following the trends of other.
Next.
Niantic ran into a handful of issues during their Pokemon Go Fest this week. In addition to that, some attendees are suing for reimbursement for travel and other expenses for lack of the advertised experience from said event.
Oh man, did they have some trouble.
Yeah, they did.
There's an 8-minute video on YouTube of just all the issues that they had, and just like they couldn't get their network to work, so thousands of people are there to catch these Pokemon. Nothing.
They should have planned for this. They know how big this was, and to have the first event.
Yeah, they really should. It came to the point where the CEO of Niantic came out and said, "Look, guys, I'm sorry, we're having a couple of network issues. 2 of them are on our side. One of them's on, just the cell phone towers. Everyone's going to get the legendary Pokemon here, and we're also going to give you $100 in play coins."
Yeah, I heard people were throwing like full water bottles at them.
They were. That's in the video.
That's a little much.
Yeah.
I'm not agreeing with it, but it happened.
Yeah, I mean, if people are paying their actual money to travel from across the country to go
If
to
you
this,
get the chance, it's quite
They
funny.
should have gave him like $500 in the play coins or whatever. You know what? Did we really expect anything different? I mean, they've had problems since day one.
And
Well, that is our speed run, ladies and gents. So hopefully you guys had some thoughts on that. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments on our website or by email contact@scspodcast.net. So name that game. We go head to head as one of our hosts has 3 games in mind, clues that lead to one game and one game only. Guess along with us and help us name that game.
All right, so I'm tired of losing, but I really enjoy coming up with this because it's fun on this side for this game.
Rocking a hard place there, sir.
Yeah, I'm a hard place in a rock.
All right, what you got for us?
All right. You guys ready?
uh-huh.
Sure.
Okay. Game number 1. You won't need a pencil on this adventure.
You draw.
No.
Scribble
You
knots.
draw. No. The goal is to stop an evildoer and return the stars to their former shining glory.
Okami.
Nope.
Pass.
You acquire many partners along your journey to aid you in your RPG quest.
Star Ocean?
No.
Golden Sun.
Nope. Just because you're flat doesn't mean the princess doesn't like you.
Paper Mario.
Paper Mario.
I couldn't get it. Dang it.
That is 1 Garrett's, 0 Johnny. Game number 2. You probably weren't supposed to play this as a kid, but you know you did it anyway.
Grand Theft Auto?
Nope.
Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat.
Damn it!
I didn't even get to the next answers. The next hints were so good. Good job, Garrett. That's 2 for you, Johnny. Still a game left. You're not going to win. But remember, participation points. Garrett won with 0, but that's not going to happen here, though. Third game. This self-titled game is highly acclaimed for 2D animated graphics.
Pass.
Braid.
No. Punch your way through different stages as you free a specific species from their confined cages.
Yoshi's Island.
No.
Super Metroid?
No. Want to hear a joke? What do you call someone with no arms and no legs?
Earthworm Jim.
The Blob.
No and no. If that wasn't a good enough hint, this person has no neck either.
Rayman.
Rayman.
The Blob.
I was really hoping someone was going to answer as soon as I said the joke because that's the punchline. So, Johnny, great job on participation. That's 1 for you. But Garrett is this week's Name That Game Challenge.
Man, that
winner.
stings, man. I should have got... See, he's only happy when I'm sad.
No,
That's what a rivalry is about.
Happy I would.
I should have got Paper Mario and Mortal Kombat. Just there was so little to go on.
There was.
Apparently
All right.
not.
Well, we all know what game you play that you weren't supposed to play.
It wasn't that. I just thought that was the most mainstream thing I could think of.
That is true. That's why you don't always go first.
Well, that is Name the Game. Well, he had it already. He was already saying it. So it didn't matter, yeah. That is Name the Game, guys. Hopefully you did better than me. And either way, we'll see you next week.
I'm still doing trivia, though.
Good. All right, so listener mail. A couple of cool little emails coming through. Garrett, take this first one, sir.
Email number 1's from Stanton. Stanton says, what are some of your favorite video games that you know most people haven't played or heard of?
It's a good question.
Yep.
What? No.
Yep, it is. Go ahead.
The first thing that came to the top of my head is a game that came out on Xbox 360 called Eat Lead, The Return of Matt Hazard.
I remember that game.
Jeez. That's a pull.
It's such a corny game, but it's so fun. It is essentially a... what do you call those movies like the spin-offs of scary movies?
A spin-off?
No, it's the one where they make fun of it.
Satire.
Yeah, there's another like specific name for it.
Scary movie.
No, like satire.
We're not playing Name the Game, Joshua.
This guy. They're essentially trolling and making fun of a whole bunch of different other properties inside this game. It's a third-person action shooter, and it's hilarious.
I remember very specifically in that game, I believe it's that game, you get an achievement for pressing the start button when you start the game.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Simpsons game does that too.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, I told my brother to play it. He watched me play it for 5 minutes. He was like, no, this game looks dumb. And then I played it and I beat it. And I was like, no, you really have to play this game. Like, if you're anything like me and how we play games, you will like this. And he thought it was hilarious, too. There's a character that like is essentially an Arnold clone, like a dumb Arnold clone, trying to beat you and everything, trying to one-up you, and it doesn't work ever. It's great.
Nice. I got a couple. Of course... I always pull old Legend of Dragoon out of the hat. You know, that's one of my favorite RPGs, one of my original RPGs. Also, Wet from Xbox 360 was an excellent kind of action-adventure type game. Bulletstorm, it's a little bit less like niche, but still not very known. It was a really fun shooter. So I guess those are my 3. I'll try to think of another one, but those are
360
fun ones
exclusive on Bulletstorm.
Yeah, good game. So that's what I got.
I can't really think of too many. I can always go to Shadow of the Colossus or Okami.
Neither of those I think qualify as like not.
I don't think a lot of people played them. I really don't think so.
They're very Garrett. Shadow of the Colossus and Okami are renowned games.
They are fantastic. I don't think a lot of people played them.
You think a lot of people know about them?
Yeah, Garrett.
I think a lot of people know about Shadow of the Colossus. I don't think a lot of people know about Okami.
I will agree with that one. I would say more along the lines of more people don't know about like Beautiful Joe.
Yeah. Okami's renowned. It's got big renown, and it was in Marvel vs. Capcom. People know what Okami is,
Or at least know like that's a character that they've seen somewhere.
People know Okami.
Fair enough.
Not trying to turn you down or anything. I agree with you to an extent, but I think if you're going to take something like from Old Clover or anything like that, Beautiful Joe is more of something that people probably don't.
I
know.
never played Beautiful Joe.
It's good.
Never interested me.
It's good.
Something about film reels and rewinding.
It's so good. Have you played Beautiful Joe?
I have.
It's good.
Yeah.
Overwatch too. That's another one.
Wow.
They have their own damn league. They're housing people. Don't tell me people don't know about that game.
All right. What do you got for email number 2, JG?
All right. Email number 2 is from Peter. Hey, Peter. Peter says, I listened to your episode on Peak TV. Hey, we were talking about that earlier. And I began wondering if maybe we are entering into the era of peak gaming. We have more great games than we can play. Do you think that this is good or bad for the industry?
We had an episode about this.
It wasn't exactly this.
Kind of. There's too many good games, and whether or not that's a good or bad thing.
That's not what it was about. What we're talking
What's
about
the
is
difference?
what we said was how many good games is too many, which is not the same thing as is there too many good games.
I think that was one of the questions, but I think the topic was are there too many good games, and is that a problem?
Well, either way,
you'll have to re-listen to the episode then.
Yeah, I think you're wrong, and you think I'm wrong. That's fine.
On this one.
Fair enough. Whatever. I think that there aren't too many good games. I think it's just part of the industry, and we just got to learn to deal with it and play what you can and enjoy what you can, and you just move on. You're never going to play it all. You can't.
Good games is semi-biased because you may or may not like a lot of the games that are out on the market. You may like only shooters, or you might be like me where you like action games, you like puzzles, you like RPGs. Especially with RPGs, there's so many. There's too many to come to. So with indie being huge on the market and Sony and slowly Microsoft and Nintendo, especially on the Switch, pushing a lot of indie stuff because they don't have any games to put out, there is going to be a resurgence with indie and AAA titles. So I think there will be a point where it is very close to peak gaming, but not at the potential where it's overbearing and I have nothing to play. Even though as gamers, we just have shelves of games where we're like, oh man, I have nothing to play. And half those games aren't even open.
Yeah, so fair enough. All right, well, thank you for your email, Stanton, Peter. What was I don't even remember what was last week's question.
Bring back a franchise from each of the big three that has not been made in a while.
Right, so we'll respond to our own listener question, which was, bring back franchise from each of the big three in the previous time. Garrett, do you have any?
No.
Wow. Really?
No. Well, no, that wasn't Xbox exclusive, was it? Dark Watch?
It was not exclusive.
Damn.
I may know one of Johnny's answers.
Go ahead.
I know you want Conquer to come back.
Yes.
Is that going to be your Microsoft pick?
I really would want Conker's Bad Fur Day to come back.
Would he be considered Microsoft?
Yes, because
He's
Rare
only been on
is a property of Conker's a
Microsoft.
property of Rare, and Microsoft now owns Rare.
Even if they didn't, it's only been on Microsoft consoles.
No, Nintendo 64 had Conker's Bad Fur Day.
You're right.
That's where it originated, and Diddy Kong Racing.
Ooh, look at you dropping knowledge, sir. Yeah, Conker. I'd also really like for them to bring back, let's see. Honestly, Crash Bandicoot. Now, I know they have this compilation,
The
but I
Insane
want a new
Trilogy?
game, like a brand new game, like a new platforming Crash Bandicoot game. That'd be awesome.
Something
Crash
like
Twinsanity.
he literally.
No.
I'm gonna ignore that. So kind of like how Ratchet got an upgrade to PS4, and it's a brand new game, new platforming game, new style,
A new game. Yeah, but I mean, also, Ratchet's never left.
Yeah, it's familiar to the franchise, but you look at PS2 and a couple on PS3, and then they redid the original on PS4, and you're like, wow, that looks really good, but making a new game.
Yeah, I'd like a brand new game. A brand new Crash game, not a remake, not a reboot, not a remaster. New game.
Fun fact, every Ratchet game has an innuendo in it.
That's very true. Good job. And then I guess for the Nintendo side, only since we talked about it from a previous listener's question a week or two ago, I would like Bomberman to come back. That Super Bomberman 64 was just so much fun.
Yeah. Super Bomberman R, it's cool, but not so cool at the same time.
Yeah, I think Bomberman 64 was the height of it, and that'd be awesome if they could bring it back.
That's true. If I had to bring back something, this is a little bit more on the new school. I hope they bring back Splinter Cell. I didn't play too much of Blacklist, but I did play Conviction, and I thought that was a nice twist to a game that was multi-platform that became exclusive. So I like that. Nintendo.
You don't got one. It's cool. It's all good in the hood, brother.
I had one and I told myself to write it down. I didn't write it down. You know what? No, I do remember. I would like to see Tetris Attack come back.
Nice.
It's a phenomenal game. My favorite puzzle game of all time. I had it on the Game Boy. I didn't play it on the Super Nintendo because I didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up. And I would love for that game to come back or something very similar to it. Tetris DS is a phenomenal game as well. And as for Sony, I would really, really like a Xenosaga trilogy HD remake.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Cosmos.
Cool.
Yep.
That whole bunch. Let's see. For PS2, back then they had a Shinobi game. Shinobi for the PS2. I thought it was the coolest thing because he had a red scarf, and wherever you ran, the scarf would follow. You get a sword in the beginning of the game where once you kill something, with that sword now craves blood and it's like cursed. So you have to constantly be killing people, or killing monsters or whatever, or else it'll start to drain your health. So I'd like that to come back. I have it if you ever want to try it out. Dark Watch on the Xbox, not an exclusive, but I that's what I played it on. I'd like even the HD remix of Dark Watch to come back. Xbox, and let's see, for Nintendo.
Well, you got your Samus coming back. So.
Yeah, can't use that one. Let's see, we just got a Zelda 2. Maybe, I don't know, it hasn't been that long, but I'd like another Donkey Kong Country.
Did you play Tropical Freeze?
I did play Tropical Freeze.
I didn't.
It's fun.
It's good. It's very good.
Did you play Returns as well?
I did not play Returns. That one I actually missed out on.
I didn't play that one either. I just want to see if it was any good. I heard it's really good.
Yeah, I like both of them.
Shattered Sales, the best game in that November. It beat out Call of Duty.
Cool. All right, so next week's listener question. If you could choose one video game pet to own for yourself, which video game pet would that be? So let us know, what video game pet would you choose in IRL? Or I guess IRL, in real life.
You can't use Nintendogs and cats.
I hope no one would have done that.
Because that's a pet based on a real life pet.
Yep. So email us at contact@scspodcast.net and let us know what you guys would pick for your pet. All right, passing the controller. What's going on with us outside the world of the podcast? All right, so I'll keep this brief. I saw the Dark Tower.
Oh, man. It was not that great, is it?
It was fun to watch, but it wasn't anything like, oh, God. If I could have not watched it, I'd have been fine doing it. But it was okay.
How's the acting for Idris Elba?
I mean, Idris Elba, so great. That was cool. Also, a few days ago, or actually last week, I had a chance to check out, it was on in the background, whatever. Cartoon Network. I don't have cable, and I don't, just like you, Gary, I don't pay for cable. Why would I? Like, I have everything I need on Netflix, Hulu, and Crunchy and all things. Yep. Anyway, man, Cartoon Network, it sucks right now. It was like
right now? It's been like this for about a decade.
Well, I don't watch it, so I don't know. But all I know is that like they were in like their 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. block is what it was on in the background, and it was all shows that are super old. Like literally, it was just shows from 10 years ago and older. Like they were showing. I think as the night went on, they were having like some of the Adult Swim stuff pop on as well. It was the same stuff from 10 years ago. The Squidbillies and Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, well, those are great.
Yes, but my point is, there's nothing new. Like those that's 8 years ago.
Venture Brothers and
yeah. Wow, Cartoon Network. That was disappointing to see that you've fallen so far as a network.
I thought you would be speaking more of the
even the other shows they were showing like stuff. Dragon Ball Z, and they were showing like old Toonami stuff. Like, why don't you have any new original content? So yeah, get it together.
It's just recycled.
Yeah, just recycled. That's ridiculous. This is not what's the one that they do? Boomerang. It's not Boomerang.
Boomerang's not even Boomerang anymore.
Is it not?
It's literally the cartoon shows that are on Cartoon Network now.
That sucks.
Boomerang has now been moved, I think, to just online.
That sucks.
It frustrates me.
Guess it's not all coming back to you.
Not anymore.
Nope. Well,
Boomerang.
That is me. So Garrett, you're gonna go ahead and get you're going to get the Power Glove, sir.
Oh, damn.
Yep. So enjoy that Power Glove, that Nintendo Power Glove.
I've never
Now
used
you're
one.
playing with power.
I've never had to chance to use one.
So many buttons.
There you go, sir.
All right. Well, girlfriend was in town. Angelica was here over the weekend. We caught a lot of movies with her fam. Watched a lot. 47 Meters Down, shark movie. Things go bad.
How was it?
It wasn't terrible. They liked it a lot.
Better than the last shark movie? Or like Sharknado 10?
Haven't watched any other shark movies, but it was okay.
You've seen Jaws, bro.
I have not seen Jaws, actually.
Wow, that's
None of
interesting.
them?
Okay.
They've made like 5 of them and you haven't seen a single
I
one?
haven't seen any of them. I just know I need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
You've also seen Finding Nemo. I'd count that as a shark movie.
I would not, but yes, I have seen it. Let's see what else I watched
Fish
this
are
weekend.
friends, not food.
Valerian. I
How
actually
was that?
really liked Valerian.
Good, because I want to go see that.
The reviews aren't doing so hot, but I really enjoyed it. There's this beginning sequence of like the first 5 minutes that's just amazing that I really like. It's like a Chinese space station is intermingling with like the American one, and that it just starts off as those two. And so now these people are now living together, and then it fast forwards a couple of years, and now, oh, here comes Germany, here comes Japan, and they're all fusing together. And then like 400 years down the line, now here comes the first contact with aliens, and now the aliens have now attached themselves to this space station that's called Alpha. And so that's what Valerian is. No, Valerian's the character, but the place is called Alpha, Land of Place of 1,000 planets. It's really cool. So I enjoyed that a lot.
It looks very sci-fi.
It is very sci-fi. Let's see, caught Lion King, and there was one other movie, I think. Lion King was back in theaters for like 5 days, so I wanted to see it.
The original Lion King?
The original Lion
Is that why
King.
you're
No,
wearing the shirt?
the remake of Lion King.
That's not how
It could have been Lion King 2.5.
One and a half. There's Lion King 2 and Lion King 1.5. I actually like Lion King 2 more than Lion King. But
Dang.
they're not
That's a
not
stretch.
really making that one. So those were the movies I saw. Didn't play too many games. That's a lie. I hopped in back at Diablo 3.
Ooh.
Started that Necromancer class. That dude is OP. After like level 7, the game's a cakewalk.
How many levels are there? Like character?
There's 70.
Yeah.
There's 70 levels, and then after that, you can get Paragon levels, which is ways to add to your stats.
Yeah, just boost your stats.
Yeah. So I'm already like level 52 on Act 3, and I've only played it for like 3 days. I've been playing that game a lot. So that was a lot of fun. And that's pretty much just been me. Nothing coming up. There's going to be a Starfire stream on the Injustice Twitch stream this week. So we'll see how she plays and hopefully get a release date. Looking forward to playing her. And that's me. Joshua, I'm going to give you that Shadow Red controller.
Sweet.
That's not part of the custom controller lineup.
I got one question.
Uh-huh.
Does it come with AA batteries?
No.
Damn, it's a good thing I bought some.
Does have a playing charge kit, though.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. I bought that for you.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is.
Cool.
There you go.
Thanks. All right. So I need to catch up in some of the overseas Street Fighter V tournaments. I read that Daigo won the last 2 Capcom Pro Tour events.
And SF5?
Yeah, like the tournaments that are eligible to get points for the Capcom Pro Tour. He
Wow.
won both of the events that he entered in.
He's coming back then.
That's what everybody is supposedly saying. Like, is he back? Is this guy really good? And granted, you're not going to have a lot of the pro players that are here. I don't know if they participated over there like Punk or Knuckle or anything like that, but he won the last 2. And I'm like, I want to go check out his game and see how he stepped it up, because now he's fighting for the Capcom cut spot.
Yeah, and then also that says a lot for him, because it's been widely considered that after you hit like your mid-20s as a gamer, you're pretty much done as a pro. Most people believe that because your reaction time starts to dwindle just because you're older. So this would be cool to see him be competitive, because he's an older guy.
Yeah, he's still highly competitive. He's still usually top 32 in almost every tournament.
Right, but I mean,
to win.
Yeah, as we know,
He hasn't
top 32 doesn't mean much.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time he actually won a premier event and got first. It's been a while, so it's good to see him back on top, because he is the beast. I haven't picked up Professor Layton again. Instead, I picked up.
Instead, I got Bubblegum. Bazooka Zooka Bubblegum.
Have you guys been on Xbox in the last
Know
week?
that.
Yeah.
Have you seen what I've been playing?
No.
Yes, I have.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good. Let's just keep talking about it like this and not mention the name of the game.
Okay.
So that Johnny stays in the dark.
Cool.
Along with the rest of the listeners.
So you and I we're Metroidvania fans. This is a Metroidvania. Name that game, Johnny.
There's no way. It's an indie game.
Yeah, I didn't like it at first because I like the pixel art style, but it didn't grasp me at first.
That's what's throwing me off.
I haven't played a Metroid game in a long time, and it's Axiom Verge, Johnny. It's Axiom Verge.
Axiom Verge.
Cool.
Your weapon is a gun that you grab, and I finished the game within 3 days. I beat it in about 18 hours, and that's me trying to complete the game. But there's also a speedrun mode. There's extra achievements that I want to get. Try to finish the game within 4 hours, which is tough you got to know the game to do it. And the more I played it, the more I enjoyed it. There's like 20 different weapons you can get in that game, like different types of beams. You don't need any of them to complete the game, minus like 3 or 2. There's fun boss battles, a lot of that puzzle room element, like backtracking to after you get certain power-ups.
Yeah.
Part of the Metroidvania.
How are the power-ups? Are there like grapple beams? Is there or grapple hook, I suppose?
Do you want me to tell you? Are you ever going to play it?
Just a couple. I
mean, you don't have a grapple hook, but you do get a type of hook later in the game. You don't get a double jump, but you get like a heightened jump. So there are different things that make it unique. But I after finishing it, I felt it was underwhelming.
Oh, that sucks.
The story was kind of cool for what it is, but I hope it to be better. It was $20. I don't think it's worth 20. 15, I think I can do with 15, but 20 is that extra $5
Just
a little bit of a stretch.
much.
But if you're not a completionist, if you're just a one and done, like you'll finish it in under 20 hours more likely. And
Never play it again.
Yeah, so I don't think it's worth $20 if you do that. But I'm gonna try to get those last little bit of achievements and then move on. Mario and Rabbids comes out in a couple weeks, so you'll hear about that when I jump on that. And I don't know what my next game is going to be. I'm really thinking about picking up another like downloadable game. So if you guys can recommend one,
I got a few we can talk about. Also, some good news for you. You might be getting that Mario Rabbids early. We'll see how that goes for you, my friend.
how am I getting it early?
Because I'm Johnny Mac. What's my controller, sir?
Is it an early birthday gift or a late birthday gift?
You'll have to see.
How early are we talking? We're talking one day early? We'll
look, man.
We'll talk about it when we're ready.
He's doing you a favor, man. You're getting it early. Don't ask questions.
He's getting me excited.
Don't ask questions.
I gotta ask questions.
Just be happy about it.
I'll be happy when it's in my hands early, as he supposedly claims.
Can I have my controller?
Yeah. All right. So, you've been doing me a solid in the last few minutes. No, see, that's what he's doing. He's trying to hype me up so I don't have to give him a bad controller.
I haven't done anything to you.
You're trying to hey, you're going to get this game early. Give me my good controller. Give me my good controller. I know what I want to give you if you were a bad person. But I don't want to do that right now. We are running out of controllers, man.
We're really not.
We've run out of controllers.
We really haven't. Stop going off the top of your head and start researching some controllers.
Right?
Colors and collector's ones.
I had a whole fan phase about controllers.
Yeah. Use them.
They're not all great.
No, that's the point.
Have you ever heard of the 8-bit do? 8-bit do?
No.
So essentially, it is a...
How about that?
Stop it. So I'm going to give you the Super Nintendo 8-bit do controller. Is essentially a Bluetooth Super Nintendo controller that looks, feels, and clicks just like an original Super Nintendo controller, but it is Bluetooth rechargeable, and that'll work with Retrons. It'll work with PC gaming. So if you ever want to use your Super Nintendo games, play your mods, or any of your retro stuff, it's an awesome controller.
Nice, man. Thank you. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, that is our show for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We always enjoy having fun with you guys and chit-chatting and talking and, doing fan faves and naming the game and everything else. So before we get out of here, I want to say thank you for listening. And you can reach me individually at JohnnyMac24 on Twitter.
You can reach me at GJL3275.
And you can reach me at the complicated Twitter handle, Joshua_4_life.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, as always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. I'm Johnny Mac.
I'm Garrett.
I'm Joshua. Where's Waldo?